committed, but like some of these things in our psychology, I can be transparent. I struggle with this a lot. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you two and ask you about how, when you're working with men, you support them in getting through limiting beliefs. Hand it over to you.
I'll let Yazeen take it first, and then I'll give another one because
Cool.
we're a bit different on this.
All right.
Okay, can you pause it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Meso said that what one can be, one must be, right? So that whatever you're meant to be, your goal in life is literally to be that best version of yourself. So he used an example. He said, if you're a painter, well then a painter must fucking paint. And if you're a bricklayer, then the bricklayer must play bricks. And if you're a musician, then a musician must make music. Right? But Meso said that at any given moment, there's two versions of you that exist. So there's a version of me that I'm currently being, and then there's a version of me that I'm meant to be. Okay, so what happened to you?
What? Yeah. So
The version of you that you're currently being is that version of you right now. The version of you that you're meant to be is when you stood still, right? When you close your eyes, when you visualize that string, right? That version of you that's 2 inches taller, that more upright, more what's the word I'm looking for? More confident, right? Do you see that version of you, right? Is actually the version of you that you're meant to be, right? But you, for whatever reason, subconsciously and consciously choose to play smaller, right? And so Meso said that as long as there's a gap between those two versions of you, so the version of me that I'm currently being and the one that I'm meant to be, what happens, right? So I look back at my life and I say to myself, well, how old are you now?
I'm 31. I'm going to be 32 soon.
So you say to yourself, well, you know what? When I was 25, when I was in my early 20s, I said to myself, by the time I get to my 30s, I'll have X amount of money in the bank, I'll be living in a big house, I'll have a nice car, I'll have the perfect spouse, blah, 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 right? Then we get to our age and we look back at our life and say, holy fuck, you know what? I haven't achieved any of those things. So what happens? So now you start getting anxious about your future. You look back at your life and you regret your past decisions, right? And then what happens? You end up getting anxious and depressed. Do you see that? So Meso said as long as there's a gap between this version of who you're currently being and the version of you that you're meant to be, right? That's where anxiety and depression and regret exist, right? And so what we should be doing, right, is that we should be striving every day to close that gap. Right? And so Meso said that in any given moment, you have a choice. Either you can move forward into growth, right, or backwards into safety and mediocrity. Do you see that? So if you literally see life as a moment of, so in psychology we call this a choice point, right? So any given moment, right, I have a choice to make, right? So right now I can choose, right? My next step, right, can either move me towards closing that gap between who I'm currently being and who I'm meant to be, or it takes me away, right? So I'm at home, I get this instinct to jerk off to porn. Right, so I ask myself in this moment, right, me jerking off to porn, right, or smoking weed, or playing PlayStation or Xbox, whatever the fuck it is, my kryptonite is, right? If I do this, is my action moving me towards growth, right? Is it moving forward into growth, right, or is it moving me backwards into mediocrity? Does it make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And so if we see our lives like literally being choice points, that every moment. So the Stoics talked about this idea that literally, if you read the book Meditations,
I've read some Stoicism.
Okay, so the Stoics talked about this idea, memento mori. Have you heard the saying? Yeah. Remember death. And so the concept is literally that you could die right now. At this moment in time is literally your last. You see that you could get a heart attack right now and die, right? So you're not guaranteed tomorrow and next month or whatever. So all you have right now is this moment. So and so if you see your life as a choice of all I have right now is this moment. So in this moment, what are you doing? Are you moving towards growth? Do you see that? Are you stepping forward into growth or backwards into mediocrity?
Yeah.
Because if you were to die right now, right, what would your last decision have been? One of growth or mediocrity? Right? And so if you see your life as a sequence of moment to moment to moment, so in every moment I'm making a choice. Forward into growth, backwards into safety. Forward into growth, backwards into safety. Does it make sense to you?
Yes, yes, it does. It's
right. And the forward into growth is literally right. Am I taking actions, right? And are those actions aligned with my values, right? And do they lead me to live a more meaningful life? Right. That's it. So your life literally becomes every moment you're literally taking a choice. right? Forward in growth, right? But am I moving towards a life, right? A meaningful life that's in line with my values, right? Or am I moving away from that, right? Do you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. This is it. See, this is where like the commitment has to be in the individual to continuously do this work and be aware of the areas that cause them to like just retract and close up and be like, this is very fucking painful. And you go into your patterns, like you get angry, you get fucking frustrated and all this sort of thing. But again, like the commitment has to be on us again and again to just take the actions and try to ingrain the habits of thinking that are going to enable us to be who we want to be. I think one of the most powerful things I just learned from you in this exchange right now, Yassine, is like there is a version of ourselves who we know we want to be, and the commitment has to be on us stepping into this.
But do you see that version who you're meant to be? That version of you, when you close your eyes, when you stood up more taller, right? That version of you exists right now. It's there all of the time, right? So the Stoics talked about this idea that all of us have what they call a daemon. So daemon comes from the Greek word for our inner soul, right? And so they said that this inner soul, this best version of us, exists all of the time, right? Our mission in life is literally, right, to live into that more often. That version of you, the confident, the taller, the more assertive, whatever version of you, that version is there right now, right? Do you see that? We choose not to embody that.
That's it. This is it. And it's a process of work, and it's also painful to recognise this as well. It is. Of course it hurts as well to know that you could be more and you're fucking yourself. You know what I mean? But this is why we have these conversations and we make these commitments. It's an ongoing thing, you know. It's something that I have to work on, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, Yassine.